Hi, this is Charlotte Pierce. I'm the interim president of Independent Publishers of New England, and I have a publishing company in Massachusetts called Pierce Press, and I'm the producer of Indie Office Hours. My co-host is Laura Williams. She's down there on, well, at least on my left, and we have joining us Mariana Llanos from, where are you located, Mariana?
I'm in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah. I went rowing there this summer, Oklahoma City.
Well, I'm in Oklahoma City, yes.
You are, okay. Yeah, so we hang out on Google Plus and YouTube every week about 12 o'clock at 12 o'clock, and unless there are overriding circumstances, we will be here every Tuesday at 12, and we take your suggestions about what you'd like to talk about in the indie publishing world, indie book world. We focus on the publishing process here as opposed to like individual books and authors, although that comes into play in the publishing process, of course, and marketing in particular. And we are talking today about the author relationship with bookstores, booksellers, and how you can learn to connect with bookstores and booksellers, including reps and agents and people like that. So we, IPNY last week exhibited 35 members' books at the New England Independent Booksellers Association conference in Providence, Rhode Island. And we thought a little recap of that would be good. I wish we had some of the people on the Hangout that were there. I was there, actually, but some of our authors had a great experience as well, and were really instrumental in representing both the organization and their own books to the booksellers, bookstore owners, people, staff, and also agents and reps. So I can kind of outline what went on, and then Mariana's, why don't you introduce yourself, and then Laura, and we'll get started.
Okay, well, I'm Mariana Llanos, and I'm a writer of children's books. I live in Oklahoma City. I have 5 children's books published. I also blog and do a little bit of writing here and there. I work at the preschool. I teach art and music, and I have 3 children who keep me on my toes, for sure.
Are they older than preschool, or are they?
Yes, my oldest is 11.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you can imagine, he just started middle school, so yes, he keeps me on my toes too.
Cool.
And my second one is 8, and my third one, she's 3 years old.
Well, children's books were a big component of our exhibit at NEBA, so I don't know if you've exhibited at any book shows, but those are often the first thing that booksellers will pick up when they go past the table, you know, because they're so appealing, and so, you know, I think it evokes your own childhood. You know, if you see a really good children's book, you sort of like, oh, you know.
Yes, and, yes, they do have a magic on them.
Yeah,
yes,
they
for
do.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
I know. Whenever I see Wind in the Willows, my dad used to read me that when I was sick, and you know, it just at night, and I've probably read it 15 or 20 times, you know, or heard it. So it just slays me whenever I see it. But and I have my own copy, of course, but.
Sure.
My kids didn't want to hear it. They didn't want me to read it to them, although I forced them a little bit. Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to these days, and then we'll get started on our Booksellers little slideshow here.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams. I'm the owner of Good Inklings, which is a content writing, marketing, and social media business. And I also am the host of the Writing Biz, and that's where we help writers manage and grow their businesses. And it's funny when you mentioned that about being sick with the book, Charlotte. One of the things was when I was a kid, when we were sick on the way home from the doctors, we would make one stop, well, two actually, to the pharmacy and also to the bookstore. And my mom would buy me a book every time. So all the times I've been sick when I was a kid, I relate to different stories. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does come back. You know, when my kids are sick, when my son is 20, I haven't read to him for a while, but my my daughter's 14, and you know, if she's not feeling well, it's like, can you read to me?
Oh, that's sweet.
Sweet. Well, thanks for all of you for being on. It makes for a kind of a nice show when there's a like an honest to goodness author, and and I'm a publisher. I don't write myself, although, you know, some people, Laura claims that I probably could, but I don't know. I like to help people's books along the process and get them published. Just kind of see the product. I like, you know, when we have a new book come out, I kind of like keep it by my bed and, you know, look at it first thing in the morning. Yeah, it's like a baby. Yeah, it's like it's the author's book, but it's mine too.
You're adopted. You're adopted baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the New England Independent Booksellers Association has about 300 member bookstores, I believe. You know, I'm kind of pulling the stuff out of my head, but the website is newenglandbooks.org, and it's a wonderful organization that's really helped to maintain and reinvigorate a lot of indie bookstores around the region. And I'm not sure, there may be other organizations across the country like it. I'm sure there are, but it's a group of wonderful people. And every year, so far, the only ones I've been to have been in Providence, Rhode Island. I think they get a deal with the Omni Hotel there, but it may move in the future. But there are up to 1,000 bookstore staff, agents, reps, and I believe the general public can come if they buy a ticket, but it's $25. So you get more industry people, and publishers exhibit, distributors exhibit. The BEA, Book Expo America, is there. Lots of big publishers, as well as, you know, smaller ones like History Press, and I wish I had the catalog here. Why didn't I bring it? But History Press, Crocodile Creek was there. Chesapeake and Hudson is a distributor. They kind of aggregate lots of different publishers' books and market them at these shows and so forth. So along the exhibit day is the second day of the show. There's a lot of great education for booksellers as well as publishing types and authors. There's author breakfasts, there's luncheons, there's let's see, quite a few well-known authors were there too. Alice Hoffman, I think, was there, and some great. They have a awards dinner, banquet, and the awards, which the books were terrific for the awards. I've got one right here. I know, sorry, but this is one of the children's books, Firefly, in July.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and it's got some well-known. I just love.
Oh, I love the illustrations. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's whimsical. Yes.
Yeah, almost like Eric Carle sort of things. But so they, at the banquet, they gave us, we could take a bag of the award-winning books. And I'm going to show some slides, well, some photos that I took. And so people can kind of get a sense of what it's like to be there, hopefully. Can everyone see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right, so I will. This is one of our authors, a new member, Kelly Cattell. She wrote a memoir called Breathe, about motherhood, grief, and family conflict, I think it is. And it tells the story of how she survived losing two of her children. One was run over by a car in her driveway. by a relative, and another through medical malpractice. So as the day wore on, she was getting much more comfortable about talking about it. But at the beginning, she said, I can't, I can talk about anything else but my book. I can't, I have trouble talking about my book. So do you have trouble, Mariana? Or are you able to? Children's might be a little different.
Well, you do, depending on the book, of course, you do pour a lot of your heart on them. Actually, one of the books that I have is, this one is called The Staircase on Pine Street. This is the last one that I've published, and it deals with Alzheimer's disease. And although it's not personal, the story is not personal, many personal things jump on it, so I've cried my eyes out while writing the story, just writing it, and sometimes it was painful to read some of the things that I was writing, although it weren't mine. It's weird, but you do pour your heart on it. So
yeah, and I think especially something like Kelly's book,
especially, yes.
But there was another author there authors can be sort of introverted, right, Laura?
Yeah, and I think that's what, when you were talking, I was thinking it may just be the sales aspect of it. A lot of people are not comfortable selling themselves, and it doesn't matter whether it's a book or a job interview or anything. I think it's putting yourself out there and being judged by others is very difficult. I give anybody credit who overcomes that, because it's tough. Yeah.
Well, these are some of the books. Tori McCagg is a wonderful. I love this book cover too.
It's very pretty.
It's gorgeous. I want that dress, by the way. But this book cover, this author is great, and the book cover is not so great. I think she's going to redesign it. Often people think they can do it themselves, and or they use a sort of a template cover service.
Yeah, that's probably a template. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just not. Like you said, Laura, once books end up looking all alike. Here's another one that was just Peter Miller was there. He's an older gentleman, and his book it got so much attention. It's a photography and writing. So the writing has won awards, and the photography has won awards, and it's just a very, very regional book, but it does have a universal appeal.
Well, that's an excellent title too.
Yes, and I mean that picture there really is indicative of the kind of emotion that you find in this book, and the booksellers were very, very attracted to it. Just the stark simplicity and the powerful images. But apparently, I haven't read it, but the writing is terrific as well. But and this I like, for its purpose. Who wouldn't buy this if they're at the check stand or bookstore and taking
it? Airport. Yeah.
This is one. Dawn Porter is the wife of our member Stephen Porter, who has Stillwater River Publications, and he represented 8 of our authors' books at the Publishers Picnic, which is a kind of a speed dating style event. That he took the books in, and the agents and reps, distributors, got his little presentation on it, and then they'd circulate every 5 or 10 minutes or something. So it's really.
He's going to be on the Writing Biz next week, I think.
Excellent, good. I'm glad. He's such a terrific presenter, just terrific. This is another great cover, in my opinion. It got a lot of attention. What do you think it's about?
Mermaid?
That's correct.
Yes.
The Marrow are these sort of they're mermaids on the edge, sort of. They're retaliating against injustices that have been done them. But it's again another thing bookstores like are trilogies or series. So if you've got a book that's doing well and it's the first in a series, you're going to have a good chance of getting, getting people to pick it up, or bookstores to order it. But again, it has to be good. It has to have a good cover. Oh gosh, gush. Let me just go back through, and I'll go the other way. This is one that, it's a spiritual discovery book. I'm not sure how it's doing, but it's. And then Child and Art is a story of adoption. I sort of like this cover too. Mm-hmm. This gentleman had three different books, 2 novels, and this one, which is also nonfiction, but it's children's. And so it was kind of an interesting mix. It wasn't like one of a theme, so it's a little bit harder to present that, but not impossible. And he's doing what he wants to do. So this was just someone had joined and sent this book in. I'm not sure what it's about, but I can kind of tell. I think, like maybe Pretty Little Liars or something, a little younger. A great historical fiction by one of our board members in New York. Another children's book.
I have reviewed that book, Drawbridges.
Oh, you have?
I've reviewed it. Yes, I reviewed. I have a Pinterest board for young children's books, and I reviewed that one. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent.
It was different. Yes.
I have a
You should
copy.
put the link up to your board when you get a chance. Put it in the comment feed.
Sure, I will. I will.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's nice to hear. This is by JMD Productions Publishing. Jennifer Delaney. She doesn't do her own books, but she publishes others. Yeah, right. So Drawbridges, and then I think the others are in here too. That's Kelly doing.
I think she's. Yeah, I think she sent me 2 to review for the
right. Or YLA Pourquoi Paris, and and Mouse's Adventures at Fenway, probably.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
right.
one too, yes.
This is Steve Porter here. Terrific guy, and he's also the founder of ARIA, the Association of Rhode Island Authors, and a longtime bookseller rep person. Pam Fenner in the middle is one of our former founding president, and is not currently on the board, but she has a press called Michaelmas Press that one of their flagship books is a collection of, it's a reading list for kids based on the Waldorf curriculum, but it's adopted by many places, not just Waldorf. Judith Rosen is a reporter for Publishers Weekly, and you can find. Laura, remind me to put up her article about NEBA. It was there.
Okay.
She stopped by. She's spoken at our conference before, and she covers indie and self-publishing for Publishers Weekly, and it was just terrific to have her come and hang out with us. And there's Jennifer Delaney, who happened to be there at the booth. Then this is Kelly Fay Wolfe, who is the editor and mother of one of the authors we were exhibiting, a 17-year-old author of a Minecraft novel, so a fan fiction type thing. He was like the darling of the show, and he wasn't even there, but he's got this following, and if he goes to a book signing, he can just tweet out to his followers, and he'll have 50 people there.
It's wonderful.
It's really a cool story. So I think he's coming to the New England Library Association in a couple weeks, and I hope.
You should see if you can get him on Face the Book, Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. For sure he's going to be signing books at the Boston Book Festival on October 25th. But I think they're just exhibiting it at the Library Association. But.
Now, Charlotte, I have a question.
Yeah.
So are all these people from New England or that area, or they travel from across the country?
Some of the books that we exhibited at our table were from. There's one from California. So they're from all over. I mean, we kind of say that people should have a New England connection, and who doesn't, you know? Like, if you've been on Facebook or Indie Office Hours, you have a New England connection. And
Yes.
yeah, so no, you don't have to be. I mean, we all breathe the same air, you know.
Sure. Yes.
It's just that we have connections with the bookstores and the people who live and work here. We are fairly close to New York, and Boston has a thriving publishing community as well. So it's in universities and writers all over the place. It's teeming with writers, and so yeah. No, you should send yours. I mean, it would be cool to have you.
I will. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Well, with 3 young children, school age and all that, my travel, capacities are very limited. But yes,
and that's the cool thing about belonging to IPNY and having us represent. I mean, I represent my book. I exhibit my books at the shows, and I don't pay for the one that I coordinate, but I pay for exhibiting at the other ones, and I feel like it's an incredible investment. It pays off way more than. Yeah, so for $55 you can exhibit at the New England Library Association, and for $20 at the Boston Book Festival, which is attended by maybe 10,000 people.
Then we'll need to talk more about that for
sure.
Yes, I'm very interested.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm not just trying to get money. I just
it's
we're a nonprofit, so I can't take any of it.
Well, but somebody has to work it. Yes. I wanted to tell you that I'm trying. That's the word. I'm trying to organize a children's book fair here in Oklahoma City, one of our local independent bookstores. I'm sorry. And so I'm trying to connect with some Oklahoma writers, children's writers. I have the place, I have the time. I only have 3 authors, so far. So I'm like, come on. It is a great opportunity to showcase your work, and
just put the contact information in the event thing, and we'll get it out to people. I also have some friends down there in Oklahoma. So my friend Jeff Woodard he does catering and so forth, but he's well connected. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah. This is Tori McCagg, the Bittersweet Manor author, and they just jumped right in. They did an ad hoc impromptu book signing. Kelly learned how to talk about her book. Tori helped her, and in here Tori is displaying Kelly's book, and that's just what happens. You just learn by doing.
Well, I think that it's those events. One of the things that's really great about those events is that it allows you to do that. It allows you to open up and grow and meet the people that you need to meet. I firmly believe people come into your life at certain times for certain reasons, and I think those type of events give the opportunity for those exchanges to happen.
Yeah, that's so true.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah,
very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's the floor, and these are all the exhibitors, publishers, and distributors, and here's a bookseller here. These are all booksellers cruising around, and here's this woman signing or getting Tori's book. She's a staff member at a bookstore in New England. So, these are people that will remember this book and recommend it. Pam Fenner, and there's Peter Miller of the Vermont Lifetime of Vermont People. This gentleman is a sort of an artisan, and he's got this novel. He wasn't able to make it to his book signing, but he says it's a cool book, and he's he's up for a grant, I guess, from the state of Connecticut. So he had to attend a meeting for that, but he's won some awards on it too already. I'm not real familiar with this, but this was a non-attending member who exhibited the book. It sounds to me like a I like the cover, sort of.
The
I don't
cleaver
like.
is somewhat ominous.
I don't like the text or the font, but I like the rest of it. Yeah, it does look intriguing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
This is Anne Sarkeesian, who wrote Toxic Staple.
I have reviewed that one too.
Oh, have
Maybe
you?
Seattle
Yeah.
Shami. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a very. I mean, she's very, very adamant about gluten, and
Oh, no.
you know,
Yeah. That
she's
one.
got,
Yes.
you know, she's very single-minded, and it's gotten her book a lot of attention. So,
Yes,
this.
it's a good book.
You remember Gail Swift? She was on the show with us a few months
I
ago.
remember her. Actually, the time that I was here on your show, she was
Yeah,
there. So
yeah,
that's
that's what I thought.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like this cover a lot.
Mhm.
Was a non-attending member as well, but he's from Connecticut, I think. This is a very successful series, Christmasville and Finding Christmasville. So he's just come out with his second book, and he was a late arrival to the registration for the Booksellers conference, but we got him in, and he got the books to us, and I think it paid off a lot. So. So that's the slideshow, and we're running out of time, but we can talk some more. I mean, I don't have anywhere to go. I've got more Hangouts to watch. Sean Manaher's show starts at 1, book marketing.
Yeah, he's on my show tomorrow.
Excellent. Good.
Him and Rivka Kawano is on again.
Cool.
We're starting a book marketing series, and it's first one, the basics. So
nice,
I thought
nice,
they
yeah.
were really good for that. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people sort of trying to help publishers and authors get their books noticed in what is now basically a flood of self-published, and the technology has opened up the world. So if you have a book idea, you can get it out there pretty easily, but to get it noticed is another thing.
Yes. It's a whole
Yeah, and
different
that's what
country.
those shows help with so much. Because if you gain some type of personal connection with a bookseller, they're more apt to display your book in a more prominent way, and also to take your calls more easily and help you out. I mean, it's just very important to that business.
Absolutely, and we, like I said, we published that the insert that goes in our catalog. Why didn't I bring anything with me? But it's stuff that people take with them and keep, and especially I think regional booksellers and librarians, because they, we do have a lot of regional books. People write about the place they live or the place where they were born. So, yeah. Anything else that we should cover, and any special requests for topics for the next show?
Well, I think that yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I think the one we talked about yesterday, the international aspect of publishing, would be really a good one.
Yeah, I was talking with Angela about, they just took a bunch of IBPA, Independent Booksellers of America, Association, IBPA. It's formerly a Publishers Marketing Association, but it's the national organization that we're an affiliate of. They took a bunch of members' books to Frankfurt, to the Frankfurt Book Fair, and that's often where you can sell foreign rights. And
right.
I mean, you can do. I was talking with an author yesterday about this. You can do your own translation and do that and publish your own foreign language book, but gosh, if you can sell the rights and get it out there, it's a lot less hassle than learning a whole new market. And there's lots of different things going on, especially with Amazon and France and Greece. She's Greek, and she told me in Greece they don't really have access to Amazon. I mean, they have access to EU, like the UK Amazon, but they don't really use it. They go buy books, and they pay money for books. They pay you know, 20 euros for books. It's just, it's not like driven down like it is here.
Well,
So
the same. Some of that happens to me. Well, you know, I'm from Peru originally, so I have lots of family and friends, and you know, all my childhood friends and everybody that once told me, "Hey, where do I buy your books and stuff?" Amazon is, you know, there's Amazon United States. If you buy it from here, you know, you have to pay a lot of money just to have your book delivered there. So, and then there's Amazon Brazil, I think, but no one really in Peru uses it.
no.
So, you know, they really don't have Amazon. So the way we have set up our market here is way different than it is, you know, in other parts
and
of the
since we're
world.
so big, we kind of think that's the way the world works, and it doesn't.
Yes, but not
that way. I mean, it's cool to think of your book kind of. I mean, you might get $500, you might get 5,000. It's just, you know, it's cool to think of it kind of going out there where it wouldn't have been otherwise. You know?
Yes, that's right.
So you come out with a net gain.
Yeah, I'm reading a book right now, and I'll have to look up the title to it from Joanna Penn, and it is I'm going to look up the title. But what I'm getting at is she really makes some great points about the international market, because you know she's
in Australia.
Travels all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, she travels all over, and the business for authors. Can you believe I couldn't remember that? But that's a good place, I think, to start trying to kind of learn about that market. But I'm kind of on Charlotte's side just because I kind of believe if you're spending too much time on all those little pieces, you're not spending enough time building your business. So I would think that just selling the rights would probably be.
Yeah, and I'm the original,
advantageous.
like do-it-yourself person, and I'm sort of like slowly through your influence, Laura, I'm learning not to.
What, that you can't do it all?
I can't do it all. Maybe I literally can do some of it, but should I spend my time that way? But thank you both for joining us, and I think this has been a terrific show, and I like discussing what we're going to do next week at the end of each week's show. So I think we'll do foreign rights and getting your book to an international audience. And Mariana,
I'd love to learn more about that. Yeah.
Mariana, if you can join us, being from Peru, I mean, you would have a wonderful voice in that.
I will, and I will do some research so I can bring you some, you know, some stuff to share.
Muchas gracias. No, me llamo. No, that's my
Charlotte.
name. Yeah, me gusta los libros.
A mí también. Yeah, me too. We can do Spanish show. Yes.
Yes. Who needs a translator?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will we'll talk next week at 12 on Tuesday.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Take care.
Thank you, Charlotte.